snowstorm shut down Atlanta last week. We'll give you a recap on how the city responded.
The Affordable Health Care Act is in effect. We'll tell you how this affects college students.
Break-ins have been reported at Georgia State's parking decks. We'll give you details on how safety is a concern for students. Those stories and more on tonight's Panther Report.
Good evening, I'm Jayla Bell.
And I'm Yasmina Alston.
On January 28th, Georgia was threatened by a snowstorm that forced many schools and businesses to close down for nearly 3 days. The 2 inches of snow had Georgians abandoning their cars and walking miles for food and shelter. Parents were outraged as children were stuck to sleep over at schools and others in school buses in 5 to 8 hour traffic. Governor Nathan Deal declared a state of emergency for Georgia, and residents criticized the National Weather Service as the snowstorm was expected to hit further down south.
Now the classes are canceled, I'm going to have to wait a while for the express bus, and since the snow, there's a little bit of commotion here, so it's going to be a lot of traffic, so I expect maybe a 45-minute to an hour delay for my bus schedule.
Affordable health care is hard to come by with a small budget. Our own Angie Rosette tells us how the Affordable Health Care Act affects students.
The new health law, formerly known as the Affordable Care Act or Obamacare, is currently into full effect. Passed on March of 2010, Americans have until March 31st, 2014 to sign up through open enrollment. Many GSU students will still be able to benefit from their parents' insurance plan, but what happens when they turn 26 and are forced to purchase their own plan?
If you don't buy coverage, you're going to pay a penalty. Now that penalty is a maximum of 1% of your income in 2014, and it grows to 3% in 2016. So now people face a choice. They can pay the penalty and not buy coverage, and that penalty for many individuals may be much less than the premium. So if they think they're young and healthy and indestructible, then they may simply choose to pay the penalty. On the other hand, for lots of individuals who are lower income, the program or the law also subsidizes their coverage.
If you're not insured by March 31st of this year, you may be forced to pay a penalty, which can be calculated in one of 2 ways. First, 1% of your yearly household income could be deducted, or $95 per person for every adult will be charged, and $47.50 will be charged for every child. The fees will increase every year, and all insurance plans under Obamacare will have certain benefits which are defined as essential.
If an individual is unsure of what their prospects are, they should actually go to the healthcare.gov website. Without having to give any information, you can search fairly quickly. Within 10 minutes, you can know what health insurance plans are available in your area. You can get a pretty good idea what the premiums are, and there's also a calculator on there that's not official, but gives you a good idea of whether or not you'd be eligible for a subsidy and what that subsidy would be. So you can see the actual net cost of insurance coverage.
If you are still unsure about how the Affordable Care Act affects you, please visit healthcare.gov for more information. Reporting for GSTV News, Angie Rosette.
Another year, another pageant. On Saturday night, Panther Marlena Collins was crowned Miss GSU 2014. The pageant took place at 7 p.m. in the Student Center Ballroom and also starred Miss GSU 2013 Emily Diamond. For more information on the Miss GSU pageant and how you can get involved, visit Georgia State University campus events.
Students have growing concerns about safety in parking decks. Reporter Tamala Anderson has more on the story.
Crime among campus is a growing concern for Georgia State students. What most students are not aware is that that same crime is also prevalent in our parking decks. According to a report from the Georgia State Police, the T-decks and J-decks had the most criminal activity. Students' cars were subject to theft, vandalism, and even hit and runs while parked on campus.
I currently stay on campus at the Lofts. The parking deck situation is kind of hairy. Generally, I felt pretty safe, but the gates do remain to be open from time to time. People just kind of come in and park at their own will. I know of a couple different people who have had their cars broken into and things stolen like that, so it's not entirely as safe as I think people imagine that it is.
Students who live and park their cars on campus were not exempt.
When I first moved into the Lofts, I had my car hit and no one left any information. And then last week, I came out to find my car broken into, my window was busted, my GPS was missing, and I had some money in the center console as well. And there are no cameras in this parking deck, and the gates rarely work. I think there should be better security here. At least make sure the gates are working or not just open for anyone to come in.
When parking your vehicle, the Georgia State Police recommends that you keep your doors locked, take all your valuables with you, and be aware of your surroundings. I'm Tamala Anderson with the Georgia State Panther Report.
On February 1st, over 150 men, women, and children gathered in Hurt Park for support. The GSU chapter of the National Society of Collegiate Scholars partnered with Lift Up Atlanta and Victory Church Atlanta in a homeless service event called Bless the Homeless. Scholars donated over 100 winter clothing items and were available to assist with collecting, organizing, and distributing all collected clothing and food items. Everyone is encouraged to volunteer with NSCS next Saturday at Clarkston United Methodist Church.
The Braves closed their land deal with Cobb County. Reporter Ashley White has more on the void the Braves will leave in Turner Field.
It's official, the Atlanta Braves closed their land deal in Cobb County on January 25th. The plan is to demolish the Turner Fields and open a new stadium for the 2017 season. The question now is, what will happen to the vacancy at Turner Field? Let's see what some of our students at Georgia State have to say.
I think they should turn that into a parking deck for students. I think it would be better for students to have a secure area for parking, because I know now with the Turner Field schedule being coordinated with the Braves games, I think students would have more likelihood of parking.
A stadium for Georgia State would be a good thing that could fill it.
It would be nice if they put something there that like give back to the community, perhaps like a homeless shelter or something like that.
To see how practical these ideas were, we spoke with Professor Joseph Hacker to see what he thinks.
They need something that reconnects the neighborhoods, and it could integrate a parking deck. Why not? The parking decks are expensive. And it could have a homeless shelter, but I think it really needs to provide the housing for the people that are striving to move back into Center City. And I think that seems to be the best first idea I would have for that.
Clearly, there are different things that can happen to this space. It'll be interesting to see what will happen in the 2017 season. Ashley White with GSTV.
If you weren't one of the people stuck in Metro Atlanta's gridlock during Tuesday's snowstorm, or out in the weather enjoying the snow yourself, there was a chance you witnessed the action through pictures. The snow began to fall around noon on Tuesday, and Georgia State students began snapping away. Many pictures were sent to the university, and we asked viewers to submit some of their pictures as well under the hashtag ATLSnow and Georgia State Pics. Coming up on Panther Report, we'll talk to athletic marketing to see how they're changing the fan culture at Georgia State.
No. Danny? Who said it first?
She did.
Women approach that phrase with a tactical strategy normally reserved for an anti-terrorist strike team. This was no accident. That was an ambush. This was definitely a disaster.
Is it that bad to be the first one to say it?
Yes, it is. And whoever says I love you first
cares more.
Let's just go to his place, move your stuff out, start a new life in another state, disappear.
So, tell me. Tell you what?
About last night.
I meet this girl, cute, tight.
Model type?
No, I'm not hanging around with them anorexic girls no more. They're like a 10-speed bike with daddy issues.
So this Bernie's got a pair. It's ladies' night. I'm down.
She gets drunk, I get drunk, so we go back to my place.
He gets too drunk.
Shame on you. Dude, it's not my fault the man downstairs couldn't keep it together.
So I'm down there, and it is the
best
ever.
Paid attention to detail.
I'm talking dirty.
Took pride in her work.
I am like an EMT crew reviving a car crash victim.
Sit down.
No, it's dirty on there. I'm a flower.
Okay, you my flower.
Where's Joan?
She says she's gonna meet us here. Where's Bernie?
He said he's gonna meet us here. Right.
I don't feel like a lady.
We got
I'll get it.
You got it,
start.
Girl, you look good. You look real good.
The food looks really good.
Hey, girl, listen to me. The food is vile. You hear me? Do not swallow the food. Wait till she's not looking, spit it in the bag. Get low. Do it fast, because the food will eat through the bag. She'll smell it. You and your own. I try to tell you.
Wait.
Trying to stretch or something?
This isn't just sex, right?
Well, this is technically sex, babe. Yes.
I know, but we mean something to each other, right?
Yeah. What, like, yes.
Am I your girlfriend?
Oh, damn. That's my ear. Yes, girl. You're my girlfriend.
Really?
Yes.
The costs of commuting are on the rise. Our own Jade Hall tells us how these costs can affect students.
Georgia State University is a top commuter school, meaning that students come from cities all over Georgia to get to their daily classes. The most common misconception is that commuters are less involved in school and tend to have lower grades, but this doesn't seem to be the case at Georgia State. I spoke with Georgia State commuter Charity Sims and asked her some questions.
I commute basically because I couldn't deal with the prices of Georgia State housing, and so I found it a lot cheaper if I just stayed at home and saved that extra $4,000 for something else.
Dr. Miller had a few things to say about commuting students.
Students that live on campus or near campus are going to have more immediate access to the things that are present here. They can get to the classrooms, they can get to the libraries, so they're actually in a much better situation to be able to avail themselves of the resources of the university. People that live off campus at some significant distance are going to find that in times of whether it's bad weather or major congestion, they either won't be able to attend class or they'll be late for class, and all those things actually take away from their educational experience at the university.
The cost of commuting has its ups and downs, but for some students, it's their only choice. Whether you're a commuter or not, we're all Panthers. Reporting for GSTV News, I'm Jade Hall.
On February 6th, all students are encouraged to attend the Student Organization Fair in the ballroom of the Student Center. There will be representatives from many student organizations. This is an opportunity to learn about what each club has to offer, turn in membership applications, and ask general questions. The fair is open to all GSU students from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. For more information, students can visit Suite 330 in the Student Center.
One of Georgia State's own had the chance to work in Calgary, Canada, and Park City, Utah with the U.S. National Bobsled Team. Physical therapy practice clinic manager Jake Irwin was invited to work with the team during the 2013 World Cup competition, according to GSU School of Nursing. Irwin was able to skip 2 steps in the process of working as a physical therapist for the World Cup and tells GSU School of Nursing he, quote, looks forward to future opportunities to work with the athletes earlier in their training at an Olympic training center, end quote.
School spirit is evident around campus, but how does athletics marketing boost the student spirits even more?
So you know, our big thing is we want student organizations to team up with us, and one thing that we've done here recently is we've forged a really good partnership with housing. It's something that we do stuff with them and they do stuff with us, and we kind of, when they're having a program that can use us, we try to send our athletes over there and do stuff like that. We did a meet the team 2 weeks ago with basketball right after Christmas, after holiday break and all that, and had 400 students show up, and that was great.
Sports with Dayvon Kimble is coming up next on Panther Report.
This past Saturday night, the Panthers pulled out the thrilling overtime victory over the University of Texas Arlington by the score of 101-91. With that win, the Panthers set a new school record for the longest win streak in school history with 12. R.J. Hunter and Devontae White combined for 61 points. But could the Panthers extend their streak to 13 this past Monday? Sports reporter Neha Ali has the details.
13 isn't always a bad number, especially when it's a 13-game win streak. Georgia State's men's basketball team held down opponent South Alabama tonight with an 85-65 victory.
For the most part, outside of maybe 6 minutes in this game, I felt that we played business-like today. and that was really important.
It was a close game with a 22-point lead that dwindled down to 11 by South Alabama, who's 1-8 in the conference. They were down 57-46 mid-second half. Georgia State stars Ryan Harrow, R.J. Hunter, and Manny Atkins accumulated a total of 64 points for the Panthers and put them back up to a 22-point deficit.
You know, Georgia State been looking for, a team to really step up and just give them something to cheer for, and I believe this is the start. We started something good this year, and the fans is really starting to love it. They got something to come cheer for. It's getting exciting, and we look forward to doing this for the next couple of years and keep Georgia State rolling.
Let's not forget Curtis Washington's 7 rebounds. Catch the Panthers back here at the GSU Sports Arena as they face Texas State February 13th. Reporting for GSTV, I'm Hallie.
The Panthers will play on the road Thursday as they face the University of Arkansas Little Rock before returning home on February 11th to face Texas State. Just like the men's basketball team, the women's basketball team boasted a streak of their own as they put their 5-game win streak on the line against the University of Texas Arlington. But after a difficult shooting night, the streak would come to an end as the Panthers fell 67-51. The Panthers only made 25% of their shots and was 36% from the free throw line. The Panthers' next home game will be this Saturday against Arkansas State. As the 2014 basketball season has been rolling along, redshirt senior Manny Atkins has been a key contributor this season as he's averaging 13.3 points a game. The former Virginia Tech Hokie turned Panthers sat down with us for Athlete of the Week.
Really, we always knew that we was better than what we was playing. We just needed that spark. And when we played, Southern Miss, we lost to them by a buzzer beater. And Southern Miss was a pretty good team. And we told ourselves this should never happen again. We didn't want to be in that predicament ever again. And we realized that game that we was way better than what we were playing. And that next game we came out, I think we played Old Dominion next game, and we all just came out there with that confidence and told each other, look, this is it. We got to turn it around. And that's what we did. After we played Old Dominion, we beat them pretty good. Then we came back and played Georgia Southern at home. And from there on, we just started going and started clicking. And this team, we have a lot of talent. And we're definitely trying to make history, man. Georgia State, this year we're very talented. A lot of people don't understand that, with the 4 guards that we have out on the court, plus, the big Kurt Washington. Man, I feel like nobody, if anybody, can really stop us if we play the way we could play. 4 guards on the court that could play, basically any position. That's hard for any team in college basketball to guard. And as long as we keep doing what we got to do and keep playing, with that energy and with that chip on our shoulder, I believe we can make a real good run.
For more sports updates, visit the Panther Report website. This has been your GSTV Sports Update. I'm Dayvon Kimble.
Thank you for watching this edition of Panther Report. Please visit us online for stories not featured in tonight's broadcast.
Follow us on Twitter at Panther_Report and like Panther Report on Facebook. I'm Jayla Bell.
And I'm Yasmina Alston. Have a good evening.